I'm Alex Villarreal with the VOA Special English Technology Report. Tablet computers were the stars of this year's Consumer Electronics Show. The international gathering in Las Vegas, Nevada, is the world's biggest technology trade show. Companies launched more than 80 handheld computers similar to the popular Apple iPad. Tara Dunyan from the Consumer Electronics Association is a spokeswoman for the show, which ended January 9th. She said 2011 is going to be the year of the tablet. There are going to be many different kinds of products available. Examples include a new Wi-Fi version of the Galaxy Tab made by Samsung of South Korea. The Taiwanese company Asus announced 4 new tablets for this year. One of them can connect to a keyboard to make it more like a laptop computer. Another has a keyboard that slides out. Both of these tablets use Google's new Android Honeycomb operating system. Motorola, based in the United States, also demonstrated that system on its new Zoom tablet. Reporter Arash Alai from VOA's Persian News Network was at the show. He says more and more companies are offering 3D images on devices like tablets and notebook computers. There are 3D Blu-ray players, cameras, camcorders, and printers. He looked at the newest 3-dimensional televisions, including some that require no special eyewear. He said Toshiba introduced a new line of televisions that enable users to watch 3D without wearing the glasses. Arash Alai also looked at some of the different products marketed as green technology at the show. He said many companies are selling products that run on solar energy or wind energy to recharge cell phones or other small devices. And speaking of phones, Tara Dunyan says smartphones keep getting smarter. She said superphones have 4th-generation chips in them that permit immediate access to videos and photos. Popular products at the Consumer Electronics Show also included Internet TVs and devices to stream video onto existing high-definition sets. More than 120,000 people attended the show. One big announcement involved the British company ARM and the Microsoft Windows operating system. Microsoft said the next version of Windows will work on devices that use ARM processors. For VOA Special English, I'm Alex Villarreal. This is the VOA Special English Technology Report. Amazon.com recently launched its Kindle library lending service in the United States. Millions of users of the Kindle Reader and app can now borrow Kindle books from their local public library. The company is working with Overdrive, a leading supplier of ebooks and other digital content to libraries. The service will be available through the websites of more than 11,000 local libraries across the country. Users of other devices, including the Barnes & Noble Nook and Sony Reader, have already been able to borrow library books. Experts say Amazon's entry is likely to reopen a debate between publishers and libraries over e-book lending. Bill Rosenblatt is president of Giant Steps Media Technology Strategies, a consulting company. He says, publishers and libraries are enemies that occur in nature, like snakes and mongoose. Libraries would like to be able to make books available to everyone all the time with no limitations. And publishers, of course, would like to sell more books to the public. Mr. Rosenblatt says the debate in the United States centers on what is known as the law of first sale. Once you buy any kind of media product, such as a book or a CD or a DVD or anything like that, you can do whatever you want with it. You can read it, you can give it away, you can lend it, you can resell it, you can burn it, you can use it as a frisbee, whatever you want. This law of first sale is what permits libraries to lend books over and over again without having to pay publishers each time. But it does not include digital products. Technology known as digital rights management can make e-books unreadable once they have reached a certain time or user limit. Bill Rosenblatt points out that one of the major publishers made an announcement several months ago. HarperCollins said it was only going to allow ebooks to be lent out 26 times, and then they would have to be purchased by the libraries again. HarperCollins says it took the action to protect the growing ebook industry and its own book sales. But Bill Rosenblatt says critics did not see it that way. They think because a digital book lasts forever, as long as it's stored somewhere in digital form, that it should be lendable forever. He says the debate over e-book lending will likely end up in court. For VOA Special English, I'm Alex Villarreal.
From VOA Learning English, this is the Technology Report. The world's largest online retail company, Amazon, has launched its first shopping website in India. The Amazon website in India offers 7 million books and 12,000 movies and television programs. It will soon add more products, such as cameras and mobile phones. The American company will not sell its own products in India. Indian law does not permit companies that sell goods from more than one manufacturer to sell directly to people on the internet. Instead, the Amazon website serves as a marketplace for local businesses. Last year, Amazon launched a site in India which let users compare prices online, but not purchase products. Shabori Das is with the market research company Euromonitor. She says Amazon is entering a market where online shopping is still new, but is expected to grow quickly. She says India is expected to be among the 20 fastest growing internet retailing markets in the world. Online businesses are interested in India's huge young population, but only about 12% of Indians have a connection to the internet. That is far fewer than in countries like China. Still, there are 150 million internet users in India, making its market the third largest in the world. And it is expected to grow quickly as more people get connected. At this time, the path to big profits may not be easy for online retail businesses. Online retail is currently valued at $10 billion, but a large amount of that is for air travel. Now, competition to provide retail goods should increase with the entry of Amazon into the market. For VOA Learning English, I'm Laurel Bowman. From VOA Learning English, this is the Technology Report. Alzheimer's disease is mostly a condition of old age. Today, life expectancy is increasing around the world. As a result, the number of people affected by Alzheimer's is expected to triple in some countries by 2050. People with this brain disease often have other medical needs that require the services of many healthcare professionals. Caregivers often have a hard time keeping up with all the medical information. More and more often, family members are being called on to help care for loved ones with Alzheimer's. It is a responsibility for which most people are unprepared. That is why the Hebrew Home, a private healthcare group in Riverdale, New York, developed an iPhone and iPad application called Balance. The app offers caregivers advice on recognizing symptoms and on feeding, bathing, and providing a healthy environment for the patient. It can be bought on the internet for $4. The Hebrew Home is a not-for-profit organization that provides care to 75,000 patients in New York City. David Pomeranz is its program development director. He created Balance. Mr. Pomeranz says the Balance app is designed to let users organize information so they can easily keep track of a patient's health. It helps caregivers manage doctor's appointments and share information with doctors about the patient's daily emotional changes. Interest in the app has not been limited to the United States. David Pomeranz says people in other countries are also using it. Software developers are working on a version of Balance for mobile devices using the Android operating system. For VOA Learning English, I'm Laurel Bowman. From VOA Learning English, this is the Technology Report. Around the world, commuters in big cities spend a lot of time stuck in traffic. In America, Los Angeles and San Francisco tie for second place on the list of cities with the worst traffic. The Texas A&M University Transportation Institute says Washington, D.C. is in first place. Professor Cyrus Shahabi knows about traffic jams. He lives more than 65 kilometers from his office at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles. He says he is always late for meetings, even with the help of a navigation system. So he decided to develop an app for his mobile phone that would help. The ClearPath app is designed to do what other navigation systems cannot. Professor Shahabi says his program uses historical data to predict traffic conditions before the driver leaves the house. The app uses traffic data gathered for more than 2 years from 9,000 sensors on the roads of Los Angeles. It also collects information on accidents. Cyrus Shahabi says his system does more than respond to current traffic conditions. With it, he says, a driver can enter what time he wants to leave on a specific date, and ClearPath will give the fastest route. It considers the entire road network, including streets and highways, before the driver begins his or her trip. A free ClearPath app for roads in Los Angeles is expected to be launched soon. In a year, the computer science professor says he hopes to have ClearPath available around the country, and then in foreign countries after traffic data in other cities is collected. Cyrus Shahabi says he wants to get companies that already have navigation systems, such as Google and Apple, to use the new technology. For VOA Learning English, I'm Laurel Bowman.
From VOA Learning English, this is the Technology Report in Special English. Humans are not the only ones who like to use tablet computers. The nonprofit organization Orangutan Outreach has started a program called Apps for Apes using Apple's iPad. Orangutan Outreach was started by Richard Zimmerman 6 years ago. Its goal is to protect orangutans in the wild. The organization launched Apps for Apes 1 year ago. The program introduces the Apple iPad to orangutans in zoos. Apps for Apes has 3 goals. The first is to provide activities for captive orangutans. The second is to raise awareness among zoo visitors about how smart these animals are. The third goal is to urge people to visit Orangutan Outreach's website, redapes.org, to learn how they can help protect wild orangutans. Orangutan Outreach says the iPad is a perfect device for orangutans because of the touchscreen technology. With some assistance, the animals are able to use apps to listen to music, play games, and do other activities. Apps for Apes was first launched at the Milwaukee County Zoo in Wisconsin. It has expanded to more than 10 other zoos and a rescue center for apes in the United States and Canada. And it is growing worldwide. Richard Zimmerman says the program could affect the behavior of orangutans, but it is too early to know. Zoo officials have told him about the apes' reaction to seeing and using iPads. He says young orangutans seem very interested. They go to the device immediately. Females seem to be the quickest learners, and some big males are simply curious about the tablet. They spend time watching it from a distance. For VOA Learning English, I'm Alex. This is the VOA Special English Technology Report. The Hubble Space Telescope continues to make valuable discoveries after more than 20 years in orbit around Earth. Hubble recently showed a fourth moon orbiting Pluto. Astronomers temporarily named it P4. The moon is the smallest to be discovered around the icy dwarf planet. Astronomers estimate that the moon is from 13 to 34 kilometers across. They first saw it in a Hubble photo taken on June 28th. The American Space Agency NASA launched the Hubble Space Telescope in 1990. Reaching that day took years of work. Ed Weiler is NASA's chief astronomer. Mr. Weiler has worked closely with the Hubble program since 1979. He says that when the Hubble was launched, it represented an increase in the ability of other telescopes on Earth by a factor of 10. He says the last time in astronomy that something like this happened was when Galileo put the first telescope to his eye. NASA's first chief of astronomy was Nancy Grace Roman. Ms. Roman joined NASA in 1959. She led the effort that resulted in the creation of the Hubble Space Telescope. She says astronomers had been wanting to get observations from above the atmosphere for a long time. Looking through the atmosphere is somewhat like looking through a piece of old stained glass. The glass has defects in it, so the image is blurred from that. The Hubble telescope orbits about 550 kilometers above Earth. Ms. Roman says she still remembers the first images that it captured. For her, the image that was most striking was the center of a globular cluster. She could see each individual star and its color. The Hubble Space Telescope has helped expand our knowledge of the universe. It helped scientists estimate that the universe began about 14 billion years ago. Earlier estimates had placed it between 10 and 20 billion years old. The Hubble telescope also confirmed the existence of black holes. These are extremely dense masses believed to exist at the center of most galaxies. Their gravitational pull is so strong they absorb light. The Hubble Space Telescope completed its 1 millionth scientific observation in July. NASA is building a new space telescope to look even deeper into the beginnings of the universe. For VOA Special English, I'm Alex Villarreal.
From VOA Learning English, this is the Technology Report in Special English. Televisions were the stars of January's International Consumer Electronics Show. Known as CES, the yearly gathering in Las Vegas is one of the world's largest consumer electronics trade shows. TVs made news this year because they were bigger and better, with some of the most advanced technology ever. Some TVs used a technology called organic light emitting diodes, or OLED. They were thinner, lighter, offered better color, and were brighter than current LEDs. Ultra high definition TVs were also popular. Most of UHD TVs on display used something called 4K technology. It has 4 times more resolution than current HD TVs. And Sharp Electronics showed off a super high-definition TV with resolution that is 16 times greater than that of standard high-definition TVs. Smart TVs this year were smarter. Many offered technology like voice recognition. One TV from the company TCL uses sensors and voice recognition to know who is watching. It then offers programs based on the user. In addition to TV technology, size also played a major part in CES 2013. Televisions varied in size from big to bigger, with at least 2 companies, Samsung and Hisense, exhibiting TVs measuring almost 3 meters across. Gary Shapiro is president and CEO of the Consumer Electronics Association, the group that organizes the show. He said CES has more than 20,000 products from over 3,200 companies. But it is more than a trade show. It is a gathering of the brightest minds, industry leaders, and those trying to catch a glimpse of the future. For VOA Learning English, I'm Laurel Bowman.